Hey guys, what's up? I know you guys can't see me, but as soon as I read this to you, you guys are gonna know. We are going to talk about Showman's Rest in Memory. The Showman's League of America maintains this plot and has affected this monument in memory of the departed showmen who lie here. So basically, what I'm going to tell you about is about a bunch of people. So I'm going to tell you this is actually on Wikipedia, which is very true. So I'm going to read you what this thing says because I visited a grave today and I got told that these circus people died. So, alright, I'm going to read all of it. Showrunner's Rest in Forest Park, Illinois is about. I'm going to read you this. Yeah, I'm actually going to. So, this is actually. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to read it to you. Ready? There is nothing that symbolizes the devotion Showmen's League has to its members and to show people in general that Showmen's Rest, set in Woodlawn Cemetery surrounded by five elephants, trunks lowered in mourning, it remains the final resting place for many of our brothers. The idea of having a place of rest for show people had been discussed at various times during the early history of the league, but nothing had been done about it. In 1916, brother Lou Nicholas took it upon himself to make what had started out as an idea reality. Brother Nicholas spent most of that fall gathering estimates and reported his findings at a special meeting on March 9th of 1917. At that meeting, Brother Walter Driver made a motion, and it was carried for $15,000. Woodlawn Cemetery would house Showman's Rest. The first chairman of the cemetery committee was Lou Nicholas, who owned a monument company and offered to provide stone settees, two corner benches, and two corner posts at the cemetery lot at no cost at the league. The purchase of the cemetery plot proved to be extremely timely for the league. The following year, 1918, saw one of the greatest tragedies that has ever befallen the outdoor amusement industry. Alright, so this is what happened. On June 22nd, 1918, the time at about 4 o'clock a.m. dawn was not yet painting the eastern sky. The Hagenbeck Wallace Circus was scheduled to represent its fabulous spectacle in the show grounds at 150th and Calumet Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Advanced ads that had prepared the town of Hammond about the chills and thrills that awaited them under the big top. As usual, there would be clowns, lions, elephants, and tight-rope walkers for the crowd to see. It's basically like a circus. The local townfolk had been visited by this circus in 1907, 1910, 1912, and 1914. This circus was one of the premier circuses of its day. This show was carried on three special trains. The show had over 22 tents and 1,000 plus employees on its weekly payroll. Even in those days, cost amounted to approximately $7,500 per day. In Hamed at 10 o'clock a.m., the children of the town were out to get ready for the big arrival of the much anticipated circus. There was no parade, no clowns, but only a memory that lives with us forever. Now, this is the part where we're going to discuss of how sad it is. This is the part where it becomes sad. You guys ready? Earlier at about 4 o'clock a.m., while the trains was heading toward Hammond, Indiana, carrying 400 performers and roustabouts, the train had to make a stop near Ivanhoe in order to cool an overheated wheel-bearing box. The brakeman, how do you pronounce this name? The brakeman overheated. The brakeman alerted the conductor with a signal flare, thus signaling the engineer to bring the train to an immediate stop. The front segment of the 26-car train now rested on the Gary and Western Railroad tracks heading west into Hammond. The rear of the train sat on the Michigan City Railroad tracks, on which Section 2 had traveled from the Michigan City, Indiana during the night. The middle cars rested on the crossover spur. Okay, now this part comes very intense, so red lights were turned on to warn any other approaching trains that a train had stopped on the tracks. An empty troop train was approaching at full speed from behind, piloted by engineer. This is the stupidest part. You guys ready? Alonzo Surgeon, who had previously been fired for sleeping on the job. Sleeping on the job, which basically means you sleep. That's all you do. Ignoring the red lights. At signal number 22581, the efforts of a frantic flagman to signal the oncoming train, it plowed into the back of the circus train, destroying 3 sleeping cars before finally coming to a half halt. A fire that then broke out. Survivors of the crash trapped under the wreckage, which sucks, were unable to free themselves and escape the flames. An estimated 86 people died in the accident. No animals were killed. Most of the dead were roustabouts who had been hired hours or days earlier for the Hagenbeck Wallace performance in Michigan City. Among circus performers were often known only by nicknames, and many had joined only recently. The stones showed here are labeled Baldy and Four-Horse Driver. Almost all of the others simply read unknown male, followed by a number. Among the dead were Arthur Duxert, I think, and Max Zitzberg of the Great Derisker Brothers, Strongman Act, and Jeannie Ward Todd of the Flying Wards. Hagenward Wallace Circus only missed a single performance, the one in Hammond. By the next day, they had borrowed enough acts from other circuses to be able to put on the rescheduled show in Beloit, Wisconsin. As the news of the accident spread, the Showmen's League of America acted. The League's of officers at once moved to provide a last resting place for the crash victims. 5 days after the crash, survivors gathered at Woodlawn Cemetery for the burial of 56 of their fellows. The Showman's League of America still gathers at Woodlawn Cemetery on Memorial Day when we remember our loved ones and all of our brothers that are buried in our small plot, our symbol of devotion to our industry. It's a really sad story, so this is what it is. I know you can't see, but it's a very, very, very sad story. It's based on a true story, and wish they would show me a video of what happened. But as I'm looking, I see. I wish I could show you guys, but I can't. So let me see. We have some pictures. It's really sad. I mean, it's a sad thing to think about. Like, when you think of circuses, you think of fun, but when you think of death, you think, oh my god. But this was one of the hardest stories that I've ever heard, besides 9/11. Now, 35 people died, and when I was at the cemetery, I saw that they had elephants. They had elephant sculptures. But let's see what they have for images. They have images. Oh my Atlanta. Bonnie Jean Warner, 1923 to 1998. Wow. That's super sad. I'm gonna read you some of the names. Unknown male. No. Died 19. This is really sad. It was in news, but it's really sad. So we're gonna go inside of it. So here's some. So in Elephant Falls, August 28, 1994. But it's really sad, people that you like to see like in circuses, like I don't like circuses. The last time I've been to a circus was probably when I was little. I don't like clowns, but they're a little funny. But it's a very sad tragedy. It happened on Memorial Day. Sorry, I'm drinking Gatorade. But it was this is what it has. Now this is what it looks like. Now I'm going. It's sad. I mean, may I just say that it was a sad thing. My grams told me all about it, and I'm like, oh wow. Like I don't know how somebody. I mean, I do blame the person who was driving the train. First of all, if you got fired, why would you not listen if they told you to go back? Like, it's just crazy. But anyways, it's very sad. It really is. It's like there were so many people that I saw. I saw so many people, so many young people, and I did see some flowers there. Speaking of, it's Mother's Day. So yeah, thanks guys so much. We have more news coming up next.